penis?
As always.
Did you get that?
I did.
So you got penis.
Yes. I have you saying
I'm not
penis.
surprised that you got the D.
Yep. The biggest.
Ace chat, man. Ace cheating. Roll 20.
Yeah.
Eric?
So, all of that stuff. Last time, the Starfruit adventurers continued their journey through the caves north of Drake's Landing. After stopping to put to rest some ghosts that had been left undisturbed during their first run through one section of the caves, they ventured north, where they encountered a rather unsettling creature. Through a bit of conversation, there were a few mentions made of where it might hail from and the kind of creature it might be, given that it was speaking to Lilith in Infernal. But perhaps surprisingly, the group was able to more or less secure safe passage beyond this thing and deeper into the caverns. After sneaking by some other carnivorous creatures and coming to a few different forks in the road, and inciting some severe violence between ogre zombies and animated armor, the party did a bit more exploring, found not too much of value along one of the two paths available to them, and at the end of last session had just begun to follow the other one, at which point they emerged into a large open cavern, and the majority of the party was kind of occupied sizing up the room itself. But Trogdor noticed something familiar to him. Much like in his dreams just the night before, he saw two glowing purple eyes off in the distance, seemingly quite a distance away across this cavern. So, as Trogdor notices this, what are you guys doing?
I'd like to sneak attack Trogdor. No, I'm just kidding.
I wanted to stop the group and point this out.
Okay. And yeah, Trogdor's pointing and gesturing makes up for the fact that you are all apparently very unobservant. And you see the two purple eyes.
Where are they relative to the ground?
To the ground? Probably, call it about shoulder height to any of you. Well, to, I guess you're kind of very shoulder height to the human-sized folk with you.
So it's big ass. Well, it's a U to probably Trogdor.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe Lilith. It's taller than us, Bung, though.
So, what are you doing?
How tall are you, Trogdor?
6'6".
Oh, okay.
What is it? Can anybody see what it is? How far away is it?
I suppose you do have one hope, and that is maybe Lilith can see that far.
Yeah.
Let's see about that one.
She has 120.
Yeah, I want to actually measure this out and see how far it is, though.
Gotcha.
It seems to be just at the cusp of Lilith's vision.
The good cusp or the bad cusp?
The cusp that you cannot see.
Can we all take a
She walks
step?
forward 5
Yeah.
feet?
I was just like, can we all take a step into the cave so she can see?
Oh yeah, you can certainly do that if you want to.
I want to look around for traps.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead and make an investigation check for those traps. Alright. Yeah, looking around, and by the way, with this large room kind of opened up in front of you, I mean, are you checking just the immediate area in front of you, or the perimeter, or what's the idea here?
Well, as long as these eyes don't come at me, I'm going to kind of push a little bit into the room.
Okay.
If I see these eyes start coming at me, I'm backing the fuck up. Double dash, triple dash, whatever the hell I need.
Bitch.
Do the eyes blink?
Would you like to just kind of fix your gaze on them for a second and see if you see that happen?
Yeah.
Okay. They do not seem to blink.
Okay.
I want to slowly walk up towards it with the torch.
Okay. How close?
How far would you say it is right now? Like 100 feet?
It's
or something?
probably about 130 feet from the opening of the cavern where you're situated.
Well, like I'll get 30 feet closer.
Okay. Let's see. Actually, grab your minis and keep everybody situated as they should.
So that we can roll initiative.
I mean, it'll happen
Will
It's
it?
gonna happen. Yep.
at some point.
Roll initiative. Oh, well, you get hit for 2,000 damage each. You're all dead.
Could happen.
You
I
just
mean,
see the
200 would probably kill us all.
you just see the Final Fantasy overkill little symbol pop up.
Okay. So, yeah, Trogdor pushes forward with the torch, and yeah, you're standing now in the middle of this vast chamber. These purple eyes still staring inward toward, well, I guess all of you. There doesn't seem to be any response from the thing thus far. Go ahead.
Ooh.
Sound like somebody was saying something.
No,
Anything?
that was
No.
background noise.
Oh, okay. I suppose seeing Trogdor walk in, especially with that burning torch, just a beacon of light in this dark room, maybe Lilith kind of trails behind a bit, trying to stick to the shadows as best as possible.
Oh yeah, I'm not following Trogdor by any means.
Yeah, I know, you said you were kind of scoping for traps, which, by the way, you haven't found anything.
Okay. Can I also try to like sneakily do that? Since Trogdor has
sure.
walked in.
Yeah, go ahead. Make a stealth check.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Okay.
Winning rolls.
Yep. This is why you don't try to win D&D.
Yep. Winning rolls. Alright, well, yep, sneaking around, kicking a couple rocks over.
So I guess what I'm going to do for Lilith is have her make a stealth check as well.
She does have that fade into darkness or whatever.
Yeah, that's one thing that I wanted to.
Dim and darkness. You can just fade in until you move.
One with shadows is what she has. Because we were talking about it earlier.
Yeah, and there's no recharge or anything that I can see there. So
No.
yeah, she sticks right to the fringe of the brighter light cast by the torch, and as she is in that dim light, she will, I guess, wait for Trogdor to kind of get situated and then pause for whatever time he does, and she just kind of fades out. And let's see, until she moves or takes an action or a reaction. Okay, so you all probably hear the whispers from Lilith, like, I think it's a dragon.
Wait, Lilith said she thinks she's at the dragon?
No, she said she thinks it's a dragon.
Yeah.
Better kill it.
Would I know of potentially any, like, undead dragons or anything like that? Followers of Orcus?
Make a religion check.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, not really. I mean,
Oh,
best you could, best you could imagine. Anything with anything that leaves physical remains could probably be reanimated or, you know, in some way kind of puppeteered by the forces of undeath that are commonly tied to Orcus and his followers. But nothing in particular comes to mind.
Alright. I want to hold the light up high, like the Statue of Liberty. See if I can see anything.
Do I know what color of dragon would have purple eyes?
You could make a history check. It's got a pretty high DC, but give it a shot. Yeah, not really.
Are we still in the same, like, cave formation? It hasn't changed to, like, pattern floor or anything like that, right?
No, everything that you see here seems relatively natural. I mean, knowing that a lot of this stuff just erupted out of the ground as soon as the undead incursion in Drake's Landing happened, you kind of maybe question how natural it is, but you're not standing in a hall or anything of that sort.
Okay. I'll walk up, not too close to Trogdor, but close enough to where I can mage hand grab the torch from him, and I'll hold it up, like, out a little bit farther in front of him so he can see. And so he has his hands free. But I myself am going to stay out of the torchlight.
Okay. I mean, even if you held it another... like, even if you stood next to Trogdor and held it another 30 feet in front of him, yeah, no, that light would not reach the thing. Like, it's seemingly pretty far back in there.
Well, I guess I will walk up to him then, and so again, take mage hand, take the torch, and hover it 30 feet in front of us anyway, just so it looks like we're not there.
Okay.
And I'll say, if it's a dragon, can you talk to it?
Oh, sorry, the phone went on mute. Yeah, I can attempt to, but I'm gonna have to get a little closer unless you want me to shout at it.
Is that customary in your culture? Are you able to shout, or should you shout at them, or is it not polite?
Do you shout, let it all out?
Would I know Eric to not shout at the dragon?
I mean, like some societies, like over in China, it's okay to like just put elbow and push because it's not everybody does it.
I mean, just in a general respect for your larger's sense, you probably wouldn't want to go into that territory.
Gotcha. Well, it's just Dragonborn are weird, so wasn't sure. And he's shouted at other things before, so
Dragonborn are like a loud Italian family.
basically, that's exactly that's kind of what I was hitting at. Okay, I'll say, well, do you feel comfortable getting closer?
Probably not alone.
Well, you'll have my mage hand, and I'll be close enough.
Bungdo, no fucks given, just starts walking forward.
Okay.
I
To
will
the point that you're just like passing by everybody and walking into the light and everything.
Yep.
Okay. Is there any point at which you'd like to stop, or are you just gonna walk right up to this thing?
So, how big is it again?
Well, you haven't seen it, but from what the party has kind of been able to piece together, I mean, it's a dragon, so probably like one of the biggest things you've ever seen.
I just walk right up to it.
I'll go with him.
I walk up to it and I introduce myself.
I'm going
Fair Tinker Mercantile.
I'm gonna follow him with mage hand, and like just so the torch is just like basically like a light lighting his way, right up to the
Okay.
dragon.
I will keep a respectful distance.
Says she, having a sense of self-preservation.
Okay. So let's see here. So yeah, Bungo walks up to this thing. And Bungo, as you approach and are able to make out some more details, what you see in front of you is a massive reptilian creature, like you would expect, but where the stories all talk about there being huge reinforced scales and what would effectively make a dragon like an armored assault vehicle. You don't see anything of that sort. You just see the bones. And so
Wait,
you see
like a skeleton dragon?
Yes.
Right.
Bundu looks at it, just taking everything in, just like, meh, kind of shrugs.
As we get up there and I see this, I'm gonna start backing the fuck up. Nope, no skeleton dragons for me, thanks.
So, what are you doing down here?
Alright, so the skeletal dragon is going to kind of crane its neck to get right up in Bungo's face. And
Bundo has
as-
his eyes open with one raised eyebrow.
Okay.
I want to sidestep.
Curious.
As a dragonborn, I know of the breath weapon. I want to sidestep.
Okay. As an aside, how close to Bungo is Trogdor at this point?
I was probably 5 or 10 feet behind him.
Okay, but now you're off to one side.
Yeah.
Okay. Duly noted. So, yeah, I think going to happen there is I'll roll
We're all gonna die.
Oh boy,
for this.
he's rolling. I just keep rolling, rolling, rolling. It's a fact, rolling, rolling, rolling.
Okay. So, the creature is going to slowly open its jaws. And you can see kind of inside of it as you're staring down the throat of this thing, essentially, and well, you know, between the ribs and vertebrae and everything else, there is this faint purplish glow that kind of encompasses every piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you begin to see the bones of this thing shake. And you see
Like violently?
it's like a slow rumble. And you see as you're staring down its throat, something beginning to coalesce in its belly.
Right.
Yep.
And it
Purrs like a kitten.
totally. I'm gonna need Bungo and Trogdor, and let me measure here, and Togar
Alright.
to make dexterity saves.
Hey, I never get to fucking use these. If I save, I take no damage.
Well, good either way.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, Togar, as you nimbly dive out of the way,
Mhm.
taking no damage, the other two are kind of stuck, and this actually, oh wait, Trogdor, you're able to actually hunker down and just barely make this save. But as Bungdo is staring down the gullet of this thing, Bungdo, you can see a swirling mass of
Not
what
giving a
looks
fuck.
like of what looks like little white pieces that you can kind of gather are shards of bone. And just as you're about to lunge out of the way, trying to find some kind of cover, it just comes rocketing out of this thing's mouth. And this is the part where I roll 10 of something.
What?
Yup, and you take the damage because...
Nah, dude, I'm gonna take like 20.
No...
With a 0 at the end?
Yeah,
Nope.
add a 1 and 2
It's fine.
zeros, and then talk
And
to me.
Bungdo, you take 39 points of slashing damage
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
as this wave of bone shards washes over you.
Bitch, you just got bone stormed.
Trogdor takes half, which is going to be, what, 19 points of damage. And what are you doing? I suppose we roll initiative now.
Right.
Yep.
You said 39 points, right?
Yeah.
I guess we're fighting this thing.
Oh, where is it?
Ah.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah. So,
I don't see me.
Well, let me give you
Oh,
enough
there
to
I
at least.
am.
Oh,
I'm
you
in the
can.
middle of nowhere. Okay.
Yeah, you're kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Completely blind, hanging with Lilith because I can't see anything.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, you probably would have at least made your way to Lilith as you heard her whisper that, right?
Yeah, I've been chilling with Lilith.
Okay, so you're there. Yeah. And I suppose.
Did you
it's
move
time
me?
I did.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm a little closer. Boom.
Ah, let's too busy
I
diving.
win.
Okay, let's get Lilith in here. And initiative from Bungdo.
Yeah, hold up. I'm like relocating my camera again. Why no?
Okay. So, Maya, as you can see by the torchlight way up ahead, this wave of bone shards wash over what you can see is kind of a corridor leading out from this cavern. What are you doing?
1 second, I have to zoom out quite a bit.
Okay.
A boom bang pow! I'm getting dead now.
Yep.
Hey! Well, hopefully I don't die. Can I run straight to this thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna get here. It's
Okay.
130 feet. I will spend my key point and my entire turn and reach the dragon to help save Bungdo.
Monks. All right.
The black
Bungdo, what are you doing?
Well, there's a little thing called healing. I'm gonna do that to myself. I'm going to use Cure Wounds. And then I'm gonna walk the fuck away. Well, I'm not in like opportunity attack distance, correct?
Yeah, you are.
I am. Okay, I'm not walking the fuck away. I'm Bungdo tanking. I turn into a bear.
Okay. Bust out Bungdo the bear once again. Let's see.
Bungdo de Bear.
I'm so happy I could move all the way there in 1 turn. That was really far away.
Yeah, kind of was.
Trogdor's hair like kind of waved a little bit in the wind that I made running past him.
Trogdor doesn't have hair,
My
does
hair?
Your beard.
he? You mean Togar?
Tentacly beard.
Oh yeah, Togar, sorry.
Okay, I was like,
Forever.
wait, Trogdor doesn't have a beard. He's a lizard.
All right. So is that gonna
Trogdor's
do it
arm
then
shifts
for-
a little bit.
that gonna do it for
Argonians
them?
have hair. Sorry.
Anyway,
Brigitte
that's
has
it for Bungdo.
wares.
Yep. Just healing and turning into a bear.
Gotcha.
Barely
Okay.
lived.
I see what you did there. All right.
Was it unbearable?
Quite.
Maybe a
If
bit.
I had a penny for every time that pun was used, I would be rich. Everyone
Over-
in the world would be rich.
Overbearingly.
No.
Nope.
That one's less calming.
Okay. So, what we got going on here is. Just check range here. Yeah. So Lilith is going to maintain a healthy distance, but still able to do some damage distance. So she's gonna move up. She's gonna move up like 15 feet. And
Do I start riding Bungo the bear again?
If you want.
I mean,
I'm in the
yeah.
danger zone. But you're welcome to.
I will keep that in mind. Maybe I'll do a flip off your back.
There you go. And Lilith is going to pew pew with Eldritch Blast.
Pew pew!
Holy shit.
Yeah, and so both of those hit, and kind of splitting the gap between Maya and Bungdo, you just see these two blasts come flying through and like punch the dragon in the nose. Let's see.
The dragon dies.
It's a snout.
It boops him in the snoot.
Yes, exactly. You boop the dragon. Okay. And yeah, it kind of recoils a bit, though it doesn't seem to be anywhere near dying, or whatever an undead does. Alright. That is going to bring us to the dragons. Dragon
Uses power word kill.
does not recharge its breath attack, but it is going to make 3 attacks. Let's see. All of them against Bungdo.
Tried.
I rolled for it. So it's going to try and bite Bungo the bear.
Yeah, it's gonna fucking try.
Oh, the 14 to hit, it's gonna succeed.
Alright. Yeah, well, come
You
on, you
take,
bitch ass dragon. The only thing
Alright,
that's
so you
boned here is it.
he takes 13 points of piercing damage. from the bite.
Ooh, spooky. 13 points. It's like a fourth of my health.
Yup.
I'm so upset.
That's what
And
happens when you fight
then
a
it crits on the next attack.
Ah! No!
You take 20 points of slashing damage.
No, I'm still not dead.
Okay, so let's see. You're down 33, right?
Yeah, out of like, what, 40?
42.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have what,
And,
9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
It's 8 more than I need.
and then that second claw attack is going to be a 23 to hit.
Mm-hmm, it hits. Come on. What's the damage? It's gonna be 8.
It's
It's gonna be 8.
It's going to be 17.
Ooh, spooky. I take like 8 more damage.
Yup.
I can turn into a bear again.
You might.
I'm at
Let's see.
66. 1 more 6. I'm like Satan. I'm gonna eat the dragon alive for breakfast.
Right.
You can't scare Bungdo. He's a fucking gnome. And there's no place like gnome.
Right.
There's
You about to get fucked up.
Nah, dude, Bungdo's Gucci. Like
on
check
the
it.
bright side, that
He's a
it
city
burns
6.
up all the dragon's attacks.
Yeah. Fucking soaking like a goddamn spa. Can't touch this.
All right, Trogdor, what are you doing here?
He is probably trying to unmute his phone.
Oh,
There is
perfect. I was muted. Running up and I try to save Bungo.
Dude, Bungdo doesn't need saving. He doesn't give a fuck. Dragon's gonna die.
Okay.
It's Bungdo's theme song.
Yes.
So Trogdor comes running up and yeah, pulls the mace of Coriel from his side. And as he does so, you see a brilliant golden light begin to emanate from the mace.
You what?
And
Oh, shiny as fuck!
Trogdor, go ahead and roll let's call that another 2d6.
Yeah.
Okay. So 21, 25, 26. Yeah, both of those hit. And yeah, you just again slam this thing like across its jaw, which, mind you, is about as tall or as it's as tall as you are. This thing's head is as tall as you are. And yeah, you just clobber this thing. You see a few little pieces of bone kind of break off and scatter to the ground. But it does not, at least at this point, seem swayed. Anything else?
I'm going to stand there with my jaw slack with a sudden minor return of power.
Okay. Togar.
Alright, I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, and put my back to the wall and go, alright, here we go. And I will turn around and I will say, hey dragon, why is 6 afraid of 7? And with no response, I'll say,
does not respond.
I'll just say, because 7, 8, 9, and I'm going to cast Hideous Laughter on it.
Right.
Because why the fuck not?
Okay, let's see here. That is a wisdom save?
That is.
Okay. Alright. That's going to be a 21.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, it was worth a shot. Seeing that doesn't really work, I'm gonna go, fuck, and put my back and put my back against the wall, and I'm going to try to hide, essentially. So.
Okay, make a stealth check. Alright, duly noted. Back up to Maya.
Okay. I am going to try to whack it with my quarterstaff.
That's not gonna hit.
I'll try it again.
That's gonna hit.
Okay. And I want to try that.
Okay. Alright, so yeah, the first time you swing your staff, it kind of glances off, you whip it back around, and kind of catch it up under the chin. Let's see. What's the DC on that?
14.
That is a 17 on the con save.
Dang it. Well, I guess I'll make my last attack.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and kick it.
That does not hit. So you kick it and just maybe you hit it the wrong way, and it just doesn't seem to take any damage whatsoever from that.
My foot just slides off along the bone.
Okay. And that's it.
Yep.
Bungdo.
All right. This motherfucker. I cast Blight, level 4,
Okay.
and then I turn into a bear.
Okay. What kind of damage is Blight? Is that necrotic?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you motherfucker.
It doesn't do shit, does it?
Nope. Not a damn thing.
Kinda doesn't do anything.
God fucking damn it.
Still turning into a bear though?
Well, of course.
Okay.
Can't fucking blight it to death, so I'm gonna have to, you know, do the bang boom pow, hit it with my claws now.
Alright.
Piece of shit.
Oh, yesterday. So she dropped this off this morning. She gave me all the extra stuff for nothing.
So, yeah, there's this whole... I guess, Maya, would you like to hop on Bungo the Bear?
Again.
Yeah. I guess because I need room.
Yeah.
Hopefully I won't get fucking demolished this time.
Oh, you will.
And-
You will.
Well, yeah, I mean, I expect that, but, you know, one can hope, right?
Yeah, well, you're the biggest target.
Look, I got dreams. Bundle the
Alright.
bear, he has dreams. He doesn't want to die.
So, I don't think Lilith is going to get any closer to this thing than she needs to.
Yeah,
That being
fuck
the
that.
case- That being the case, 2 more Eldritch Blasts, both of which hit. Very nice.
Nice damage too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, and yeah, just 2 more come careening out of, like, seemingly nowhere, because I don't know if anybody can actually see Lilith back there.
Nope.
Can
I
Bungdo?
can see the whites of her eyes.
Bungdo definitely cannot.
What? Bungdo is
you-
a very perceptive fellow.
But Bungdo the bear has no night vision.
There's that.
Yes, he does. He has instinct vision.
Instinct
Right.
vision.
Mama, he has mama bear syndrome.
Exactly.
It's like glaucoma except for bears.
What?
I don't know.
Anyway,
It's best not to question it.
Yep.
Do you not know what glaucoma is?
Nope. 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 I'm not gonna get into this.
You're severely mistaken.
I know.
alright. So, let's see what happens.
I mean, as long as Lilith didn't move, I at least have a vague idea where she's at.
Yeah, there is that. Okay. So, I think what's going to happen here is, as you see these 2 blasts come, just smash this thing right in the snout again. Alright, you see the skeletal dragon kind of rear back once again, taking on a familiar posture. And I need Maya, Trogdor, and Bungdo the bear to make
You can't
that
scare me!
raise. And I can make that one for Bungdo, actually. 'Cause well, actually, you can, because you have the character sheet as well.
To make
Go
what?
ahead. Dex saves.
Yeah, I actually have to find it real quick.
I
Oh,
also
my-
have evasion.
This.
Phil, just hold shift and double click your token.
Wait, what?
Hold shift, double click the bear.
I'm just now realizing that I can't actually see the bear.
Please hold.
Phil.
Bitch, please!
Always gotta be difficult, Phil.
What? She's not my fault.
It is, though.
Okay, you should be able to see it now.
Shift click.
Double click.
Shift, double click.
Oh, a variant. The cave bear traits in action. Character sheet. What is it? Dex?
Yep.
Hmm,
Okay.
gee.
So you all save.
Bungdo
gonna
doesn't
take
get
half.
scared twice.
And Maya just
You're still
nimbly
gonna
dodges.
take half of whatever this is.
Maya hides behind Bungdo the bear.
All right. So the
I
three of
just
you...
like lay flat on his back.
Okay. the three of you, as this second wave of just slicing, whirling bone shards erupt from the thing's mouth, you all take 25 points of slashing damage.
I do. I have
Okay.
evasion.
Oh,
You do.
yeah, that's right. Okay,
I take nothing.
you take nothing.
Thank you. That's why I linked
Oh, jeez.
I was busy dealing with other stuff. Okay. After it does that, you see the dragon seemingly turn just a hint to face Trogdor. And it's Trogdor's turn.
I'm gonna look this thing dead in its non-existent eyes. Do I feel any like connection to Bahamut again?
I mean, you feel closer than you've been these past couple days. Okay, so the first one, again, the mace just gives off this blinding golden light. Roll another d6. Okay. And yeah, you bring it down again, just clobbering this thing's jaw. The second attack, though, you're not able to find another good place to hit, and so your blow kind of just glances off the bone.
Alright. That's my turn.
Togar.
Well, while it's distracted and looking at Trogdor, I'm gonna spin around and just kind of shrug, it's good a time as any, and pull out my thunder cannon, and I'm gonna take a shot with it.
Okay. Alright, so there's this, like, loud explosion that's only amplified as most of you are in this corridor, hearing the sound just reverberating back and forth. As the smoke clears, Togar, you see that this thing doesn't seem to have taken any damage.
None.
Nope.
Alright. I'm going to bonus action reload. And, yeah, just kind of duck back around the corner.
Okay. Maya.
Well, I am going to try to hit him again because that seemed to do damage.
Okay.
So I am just going to try and try to pinpoint my aim towards a certain, I don't know, vertebrae in his neck to see if I can knock it loose to make his head not be as well attached to the rest of his
Okay.
skeleton. So I'm gonna whack it with my quarterstaff and fail terribly.
Yeah, and so you do that, and instead of finding that sweet spot, I think your staff gets wedged in between two of the vertebrae. And
I'm gonna
it's
try and kick my staff out. Well, I'm gonna try and kick that spot and see if my staff falls out.
kick it hard enough to loosen the staff, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You kick your staff in half.
All right, so you do that. You try at least, and as the staff is wedged between the vertebrae, you go to kick it, and you slip off of Bungo's back and are kind of dragged to a point where you are actually underneath the skeletal dragon, not being stepped on or anything, at least at
Bungo
this
don't
point,
give a fuck.
but you are full on underneath this thing.
Can I kick up?
Like, when you say kick up, you mean like attack up, or like try and stand up with the kicking motion?
I want to kick it from underneath it.
Sure.
Oh lord.
It's not a fail.
But it's not a hit either.
Okay, I'm gonna move and climb back up on top of Bungo.
Okay.
That was terrible. Okay. That's the end of my turn.
All right, Bungo the bear.
I'm gonna hit it with my face and my hands,
All right, you do that.
cause I'm a boss ass bear. A boom bang pow. I'm gonna hit it now.
And you're not gonna do any damage.
Christ, what are the attacks? Is
You're gonna have Rictavio effect.
All right, so yeah, you try and bite it, and as you're trying to bite through this massive, bony creature, you think you might have actually chipped one of your fangs in the process there.
Don't care. Don't care, Amber.
With the claw attack, you manage to hit, and it's not so much the claws as like the blunt force trauma of just these massive paws like slamming into it, but you see a bit of damage being done there.
Good.
Okay. Anything else?
Clawing my way to the top. Nope.
All right. Lilith is
Well,
doing
okay,
Lilith
I guess
stuff.
that depends. Can I multi-attack again?
No.
Then I'm good to go.
Okay. Lilith. Gonna do Lilith stuff. This time the first blast comes in and kind of like disperses harmlessly against the things like where its cheek would be. But the second one kind of comes in and hits it square between the eyes and sort of recoils again. Yeah. I think that's it for Lilith. Dragon's turn.
Oh boy.
Gonna multi-attack Trogdor.
Shit
All right.
stomp me.
Yeah, still staring at Trogdor. You see the dragon kind of sidles up a little bit, kind of leaning more on its front claws, and seems to be scoping Trogdor out. And as it does so, it actually you hear kind of a as it lies down on its belly and just stares at it.
Is it not? It's not taking any attacks?
No.
Huh.
Trogdor, what are you doing?
I guess I'm going to curiously touch its face with my hand
Okay.
and tell everyone to stop touching or stop attacking it.
Okay. So, yeah, you probably cautiously stretch out a hand and very tentatively place it on the dragon's snout as it's just lying there on its belly, staring at you from those huge purple eyes. I mean, as you see them up close, they're like probably the size of like dinner platters, each one of them. And your hand reaches the dragon and rests there. It doesn't do anything. Just sits there, silent, staring at you.
Can I say in Draconic, what's troubling you?
There's no response. And if anyone would like to do anything in initiative here, just let me know. Otherwise, you know, I'll just keep this going. Okay.
I'm gonna walk up, seeing
Okay.
this. Get up to here. And I'll actually bring the torch kind of like there. There we go.
Okay.
That way we can all see what's going on.
But yeah, there is no response from this skeletal dragon.
Can I touch my mace to it?
Yeah, so just like lightly, just kind of like rest it on the dragon kind of thing.
Make sure you don't piss it off.
I just want to touch it. I don't want to like attack it or nothing.
Okay. Yeah, so you hold out the mace and touch it to the side of the dragon, and it like recoils as though it's just been touched with something like scalding hot. But it doesn't attack.
I want to ask it to please move aside.
There's no response.
Is there any way I can insight check this to maybe it just wants to die?
Yeah, I'd let you make an insight check.
Uh-oh. I accidentally pushed refresh.
Okay. Let's see.
What did that roll? 15.
Yeah. I guess what you're able to pick up from kind of sizing it up is that it is yielding to you. The reasoning isn't clear. Its intentions aren't clear. Other than it yields.
I don't know what to do. I'm gonna pray to Bahamut for guidance.
Okay. And what does Trogdor pray?
Troubling this creature. Should I put it down?
As you reach out to Bahamut, you feel this kind of urge swelling up inside of you to, again, kind of just place your hand on it and essentially to bless the thing. essentially like imbue it with Bahamut's power.
Oh.
You way cut out there, would you say?
Said there's a book.
I mean, have you done the thing?
Done what thing?
So it said, like the feeling is kind of reach out, touch it, and bless it, and imbue it with Bahamut's power.
Oh, I thought you were like doing that for me. Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay. And so, placing your palm on the dragon's snout once again, and maybe reciting some of the old prayers and blessings that Trogdor would have learned in his time training back in Yordhall. You begin to bless this thing that probably no more than 30 seconds ago was intent on tearing all of you to shreds. And as you do that, and you're reciting and praying and blessing, those of you who are watching all of this unfold, you see the ground around this thing begin to kind of shake. A few stray pebbles and bone shards kind of skipping around as a wind seems to blow in from somewhere deeper down this stone corridor.
I look around to see if Lilith's fucking with us. Because I've seen her do all of this before.
No, you don't see her in any way evidently, like using thaumaturgy or anything like that, no.
Okay. I just had to get her mention in.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Okay. So the ground is shaking. The pebbles and bone shards are skipping around. This wind blows in, picking up all of these just little bits and pieces of things that have kind of scattered around the stone corridor here. And let's see. I think I would like Maya and Bungdo the bear to make Constitution saves.
Fuck.
Okay, so the two of you are kind of just blasted back a few feet as Trogdor and this creature are enveloped in this swirling vortex of debris.
Bungdo still doesn't give a fuck. Cause you're a motherfucking bear.
And Trogdor, you can feel kind of this faint breeze just kind of sort of kissing your cheek, really. I mean, if you were to open your eyes and see all of this, it would be vastly different from the experience you're having right now. But as the two of them go out of sight behind the swirling mass, it stays that way for a good 20-30 seconds until
I want to try to put my mage hand in it.
okay. I would say you're probably met with more force than 10 pounds, if that makes sense.
Got it. So it's like I just can't get in.
Yeah, it's like a buffer kind of thing.
Okay. I'm just gonna rest mage hand on it then. I'm tired of carrying shit.
Okay.
Even though it's weightless, I'm tired of carrying it.
Okay. So after those 20 or 30 seconds, the winds begin to die down, and you all begin to make out the forms of the two, still inside, still with Trogdor resting his hand on the snout of this creature. But where before there was this broken skeletal dragon with glowing purple eyes, you now see a majestic silver-scaled dragon, as though it had never died, just standing there in front of your friend.
You what?
Okay.
Double spell.
Okay.
I look at it in awe.
I look at my gun and just kind of like let it go. I was still absentmindedly holding it, but I kind of rotate it back around. I'm like, oh shit. And I hop on Mungdo.
What were you saying, Brown?
I'm gonna rub its cheek.
And yeah, for the first time, the thing kind of visibly reacts to something other than just that kind of submissive bow that you had seen before. And you hear in your head a familiar kind of low, gravelly voice. It just says, "Thank you."
Off?
You broke up there. What was that?
Does it sound like Norganoth?
It
Steve?
does.
Oh! You?
What?
You're cutting out so bad, and it sucks.
Rip. So, I say aloud, Norganoth, is that you?
And yeah, so what happens then is as the rest of the party hears this, you all now get to hear this deep rumbling voice now projecting from the dragon that's just been reborn in front of you. And says, "Yes, it is I."
Wait, do you have wings now?
Oh, he definitely has wings.
I want to give his front leg a big hug.
I kind of give him that, like, I knew there was something strange about you, but I got you. You know, like, from back when I was knocking the stupid hat off. And shit. So, I give him that, just that kind of a look. And
Okay.
I'll just kind of walk up and... I want to take a look at his wings.
Yeah, I mean, they are massive. Like, if this corridor was any smaller, this thing would not be able to even move at all. But you see, yeah, these massive silvery wings, the entire frame of the thing just glittering in the little bit of torchlight that you guys are able to kind of shed on this on the creature.
So,
Yeah.
well, now I can see how you're a defender of the skies.
I think he actually just chuckles out loud hearing me say that.
I want to ask him what happened to him.
He explains to you that most, if not all, of the celestial draconic creatures that are summoned by paladins of Bahamut and similar disciplines are actually the disembodied spirits of dragons that have lived before. And so he explains to you, he says, and so after my passing, I spent hundreds, maybe thousands of years. It was difficult to tell, but eventually I was assigned to you.
What?
Yeah, that was his mount.
Logan would still be surprised.
I'm still looking up in awe.
I'm over there touching him. I'm examining the silver scales. Like, I'm purely examining him because I've never seen a dragon up close, and I know they're strong, just from all the stories I've heard. So I'm trying to figure out why it's so strong. Trying to figure out how to mimic the plate.
Yeah.
So, ever the opportune blacksmith. I mean, I'm not gonna harm it. I'm just, looking.
Right. Just kind of evaluating the material that you see in front of you.
Yeah, and like how it's layered, how it's set up, like each scale, how it's set up and shaped.
Took a crowbar to his scales and are prying them off.
I mean, I may like run my hand and like see if I can catch one. Not hard, just kind of see, how big the overlap is, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. So each of these scales, like if Norganoth's eyes are like serving platters, each scale is probably like a small plate.
Okay.
And these things are just kind of, nested with unprecedented order. I mean, if you saw this thing standing still and were under the impression that it was a statue, you would think it was made by like the finest craftsman that you had ever seen.
Every scale is right in a line. It's just...
Yeah, it's Togar's dream.
Huh. Well, yep, I'm going to spend the rest of my time just examining that in awe and, just kind of listening to the rest of the conversation.
Okay.
And I also will sketch, like, kind of what the shape of the plates are, how they're arranged, all that. Got an idea for some armor.
All right. And so
I'm brought to tears from what has all been said, and I'm hugging his arm, crying.
And yeah, I think the dragon just kind of coils in, kind of taking that protective posture around Trogdor as he's processing all of this. And so, what's everyone else doing as this whole thing is going down?
Still looking in awe. I've not gotten over that yet.
Yeah, I'm like all up here in its business.
Bungo's just being Bungo, not giving a fuck. Take that as a yes.
Oh, Christ, I was muted. Yes, I'm standing there, not giving a fuck as a bear.
I'm just waiting for when Phil gives the monologue of his life and realizes he was muted.
Yep.
Dude, it's gonna be the fucking worst.
It is.
All right. And so after everyone has had time to kind of process all of this, What's the plan? I mean, you've got now a silver dragon seemingly allied with you on your side.
I will ask him if I can touch him and touch him.
Yes, he graciously obliges and kind of, bows his head down so you can easily, touch.
I touch.
Okay.
I've been touching. I'm just still amazed.
I want to explain the story of what's going on. Since I had last had him summoned, telling about my fall from grace and whatnot.
Yeah, he says, I'm aware of what happened. I was able to watch everything. And he sort of pauses and says, that doesn't matter now. You've seen the error of your ways. You have atoned, prayed for forgiveness from Bahamut, from the Platinum Dragon, and he has delivered. You walked fearlessly into battle with, for what you knew could be your demise, and unflinchingly stood your ground. You've shown valor, you've shown honor, you've shown selflessness in standing with your companions. You are once again a rightful paladin of the Platinum Dragon.
I go back to crying him and hugging his arm.
Maya thinks this is like the love stories that she has occasionally read.
Bungo pulls out a specific statue and pokes Trogdor with it.
I turn around and look at Bungo.
My eyebrows are furrowed and I just kind of shove it. Waggling my hands.
I guess I will take it back.
God fucking finally. I have to carry that shit around.
All this time I've been examining the wings.
Okay.
Can I
Or
hug
attempting.
Trogdor?
Unless he's stopping you.
I hug Trogdor.
Bungo does as well.
Group hug.
Okay.
I feel like Lilith is just like,
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, okay, this is kind of weird, guys, but you do you.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, after a good while passes, and I mean, this is probably at least enough for a short rest if you guys would like to take one.
Sure.
I think Bungo wants one.
Indeed.
Okay. Yeah, so you can feel free to do that. But once all of the emotional overflow is kind of dealt with, yeah. That's the plan.
I want to ask the dragon what he knows about the place we are currently in, and why he's here and such.
Why is anybody here, man? Just...
So, yeah, maybe as you're kind of resting, relaxing after a pretty nerve-wracking couple of hours, he goes on to explain that his first lifetime, interesting kind of terminology here, but the last time he was alive, he was gravely wounded while doing the bidding of Bahamut himself. And as he desperately flew for some sort of landing place here, he ended up finding what was at that point an open cavern into which he crawled and sought refuge. As nature took its course and things began to give out between avalanches and rock slides and the like, the place that he had claimed as his shelter turned from that into a prison of sorts. And he was essentially buried alive here, wounded and left to die.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's terrible.
I get teary-eyed again.
Where was this? Because it wasn't where. Well, it didn't used to be here, at least.
Well, he tells you that if what he's gleaned from conversations with those who've since passed on are to be believed, there was a city situated nearby that was named after the events he just described.
Well, that would be Drake's Landing.
Yes, it would.
Wait, so they named Drake's Landing? They named it after you? Or an event for you?
No, they named the city after his event that he created.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
That's crazy.
Ma's a little starstruck.
Mine too.
At this point, I notice Trogdor is crying, and I'm trying to figure out how.
Lizards have tear ducts.
They do?
I think so. Can't some lizards bleed from their eyes? Or am I crazy? Some animal can.
There's
I
something.
don't know.
Yeah.
But either way, safe to say, Dragonborn probably do have tear ducts.
They are part, creature. Most creatures can try.
It's still kind of amazes Togar as to seeing a lizard cry.
Maybe he's not used to much outside the scope of like the little creatures that scuttled around the forge and stuff when he's back in Pogwadar.
That's basically what it is.
Okay.
Like I've never seen a lizard cry, and it's amazing.
Yeah, just used to the little cave salamanders and things like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so kind of accompanying that though, Organoff says that he is afraid that he won't be of much use in terms of telling a story, as up until what you just saw, he wasn't really here. He had long since left his body and become what's essentially a spirit in the service of Bahamut and his paladin.
So I questioningly ask him, "So you were like my guardian angel?"
Doing his best not to roll his eyes, he says, in a sense, you could think of it that way.
What color are his eyes?
Purple? Are they still purple?
They are not still purple.
Ooh.
But I am looking to see what color they actually are.
I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah, they have almost like an aquamarine color to them.
Ooh, they're pretty.
Blue eyes for dragon.
Except, you know, he's not a white dragon. He's a silver dragon.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say blue eyes silver dragon.
You can.
The
Yeah,
picture
I mean, you
looks pretty
can.
silver.
It's
Well, it's-
aquamarine eyes silver dragon.
I know what the color aquamarine is.
I'm just imagining they're like a very light sapphire.
No, aquamarine is a color.
I understand that. Togar is picturing them as like a very light sapphire.
As Maya
has
and Togar stand here bickering about what color the dragon's eyes are.
Yes.
Has Togar never like he never worked with like gems before?
I've worked with some gems, but it's just been
Not
decorative.
aquamarine.
No, it's like your basic decorative shit, like sapphires, rubies, emeralds. Nothing.
Fine. I guess my birthstone doesn't count as a gem.
Nope.
Like
Not-
aquamarine is actually like a gem. Like,
Not in
legit-
Thogladar. Well, he's not to Togar.
Well, you suck.
I make armor for a living. I do practical things.
Yeah. Knowing what gems are is practical.
But working with like sapphires and stuff, they're enchantable. Like they're what most people use to put enchants on.
So
Togar
you can only
studied
put
this.
enchants on some gems and not others?
I don't know. That's just the most common, so I make the most common armor like that so that more people will buy it. It's good business practice.
I feel like aquamarine gems are pretty common.
The dragon kind of like just raises an eyebrow and chuckles at the two bickering.
Either way, your eyes are pretty.
Thank you.
Maya's occasionally found. I mean, in the desert, there are occasionally gem reserves. And she likes aquamarines.
So I am officially a paladin again.
You are.
Do I have all my spell slots and stuff?
You do.
Wait, who's gonna be his new mount?
I mean, he will probably need a smaller mount. But on the other side, none of us will ever need to walk again.
Well, I don't think that this giant silver dragon wants to follow him around, and I point at Trogdor around for the rest of at least Trogdor's life. That seems counterproductive to what, to things going on.
And as you're discussing this, the dragon kind of chimes in and says, that is something that can be dealt with once the current task is taken care of.
Fair enough.
What all do you know about our current task?
I was with you until he describes a time, which is basically when you guys were attacked at the house.
But you have no... Do you know anything in between then and now?
He does
Do we need to
have
fill you in with?
No, he does have a pretty good idea of what's happened. I mean, not like to the point where he could recall lines of conversations between people, but he was at least able to somewhat keep tabs on the group.
He saw, like, montage style what we did?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. Had that cheesy music and everything.
Okay. Well, that's good. Oh, okay.
Well, what gravely injured you to have you fly into here?
He says, I was not the only dragon to roam this world. And not all dragons, as you know, kind of gesturing to Trogdor, serve Bahamut. Some choose to live as tyrants and evildoers.
I glance at Trogdor.
What? I'm not a tyrant or an evildoer.
No, no, but just seeing your reaction.
And he says, the fellow dragon I was tasked with confronting, last I saw, was cast down into the sea before I was able to make land and eventually find myself here.
What dragon was that?
Let's see if he remembers the name. He does not recall the specific name of this dragon, but he does seem to remember that it was a black dragon that had been wreaking havoc across the sea on the continent of Drak.
And that's where Dragonborn are from?
Among others, yeah.
How far away is it, and does he remember the location of where he encountered this black dragon?
He remembers that the confrontation started in the mountains that kind of run along the eastern coast of the continent, actually very close to where Yordhall is. As the battle wore on, they ended up going out over the ocean. And again, best he can remember, he dealt a pretty serious blow to that dragon, casting it down into the ocean, and then kind of scrambling to find a safe place to land for himself.
But he could get like show us back there, right?
Maybe not to the exact spot where the dragon hit the water, but
No, I want to go to the lair. Or wherever.
that's feasible.
Yeah, so I would like directions to the lair.
Well, step one is cross the ocean.
Yeah, okay.
I ask him if he's gonna help us finish this battle.
Of course.
You're a little big to be in these little tiny tunnels, don't you think?
He says, I have my ways.
Would I know whether or not dragons can polymorph themselves?
I mean, you'd probably have a pretty good idea. I mean, I don't know that you would have actually dealt with dragons in person, but given your religion and race's history with dragons, probably easy enough to know.
Okay. I'll just kind of nudge Togar and say he can change sizes.
Wait, can you teach me how to do that?
It's a thing dragons can do.
Yeah, he says, unfortunately, no. It's a power inherent to my kind.
Damn. That'd be kind of cool. Alright. So... I take it you were probably raised to guard something. So, do you happen to know what you were guarding? I mean, they wouldn't put a dragon just guarding an empty room or anything.
Well, he says, again, I wasn't really here for all of that time. And when my first life came to an end, there wasn't anything beyond this chamber. Whatever lies beyond must be the construct of these cultists or their undead minions or something that they serve.
Do you happen to know the way through here?
I mean, he tells you that the area effectively behind him is entirely new to him, so no.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's probably where we need to go next then.
Say one more thing. Can I ride you like old times?
Yeah, the dragon kind of lowers itself to allow you to climb up on its back.
Can I ride you just to say I rode a dragon once?
I think there's another kind of low chuckle echoes through the hall, and yeah, he stays down.
Okay. I'll
Can I?
scurry up.
Everybody hops on the dragon.
At this point, he probably expects it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maya's pretty excited.
Spungo the bear hopping on too.
Phil muted?
Probably.
God damn it.
Love you, Phil.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so after a short rest, he would not be Bunga the bear anymore anyway.
Oh.
But okay. So yeah, you all climb up on this dragon's back and begin to make your way down the stone corridors that have apparently been hewn out sometime after the original expiration of Norganok.
Does it look like it's been... Oop, go ahead.
Does he have spikes on his back?
Probably a few.
Can I feel them?
Yeah, so essentially what you see and kind of feel as you're sitting on his back is there's this kind of crest that runs down his neck and body all the way down to the tip of his tail. It's kind of like this leathery, almost fin-like kind of thing, but it's able to kind of fold off to one side to accommodate riders as needed.
So he's got like a full body mohawk.
Basically, yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay.
I will say I'm inspecting his wings from up here because they're fascinating.
Yeah.
Dulgar's gonna fly someday.
You don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you think that at full span, like not just confined to, you know, the space that it is able to take up in these little corridors, the full wingspan of this dragon could probably reach 100 feet.
Yep. It's crazy.
All right.
Maya's trying really hard not to be distracted by the dragon and to watch out for things, but it's definitely hard.
I'm short. I don't have to worry about it.
All right. Take a look at something. Okay. Take a look at something else. Nothing suspicious going on here at all.
You look at nothing.
I mean, we're riding a dragon, so...
I want to try and talk to him telepathically like I used to, see if it still works. I want to say, can you still hear me like this?
Yeah, you hear back in your head. Yes.
Ooh.
I asked him if we're still linked together.
This is, for the time being, it would seem so. Also, as you're all riding down this corridor on the back of the dragon, you hear sounds like a number of rocks falling from the ceiling, maybe, I don't know, a chamber or two back.
Where the creature thing was?
I mean, there have been lots of creature things, but if it's what I think you're referring to, it seems a little closer than where you left him.
Okay.
think we're sealed in.
Can
We
I
have to go
insight
forward.
check the dragon we're riding to see if he's bullshitting us?
What about?
Like, it just seems fishy that we see him, and then he leads us away, and then we hear, like, a cave collapse further back.
Well, okay, to clarify, it doesn't sound like there was a massive rock slide. It sounds like maybe there's, you know, some seismic activity or something walking around on the ceiling that disturbed something.
Okay, I gotcha. I was thinking that it
Or-
was... Huh?
Like D&D cavern activity. Normal D&D cavern activity.
Yeah.
Well, it's shit walking around somewhere else, so...
Basically, yeah. It
Okay.
doesn't sound like the entire hallway has collapsed or anything.
Okay. That was what I was thinking, was like the entire hallway was collapsing.
No.
Okay.
Alright. So, yeah, you continue to ride the dragon for seems like probably a good half a mile or so, and you as you stay on this path, it kind of begins to you notice that there's a bit of an incline kind of picking up here, and the path begins to kind of wind back around, almost as though it's spiraling up the interior of the mountain. And after that half mile or so that you travel, probably retracing your route several times at different altitudes, you come to another massive open chamber. Out in front of you, you can see what looks like a stone bridge kind of carved out across a massive chasm, so deep that not even Lilith can see the bottom. And as you all look around, let's see.
Do I see any squiggling worms coming up the side of the
Well,
chasm?
first, I'd like everybody to make a history check.
History. I am good at these things.
I
Maya is equally good, but not feeling it today.
Well, Maya's looking at worms, or looking for worms.
Yeah, there you go.
Damn, Bungdo.
Bungdo remembers back in the day.
He gets it puts his like World War II or Nam face on, like he's telling a story, old war story.
Just a flashback.
Yeah, like straight up, just. Yep.
know nothing.
Yeah, kinda. Well, damn.
Lilith knows.
Yeah, at least she knows what she can know, which is not as much as the rest of the party here.
But
But I would say Bungo's 23 is sufficient to definitely pick out the fact that this is a very familiar bridge that you've spent some time on before.
Bungdo educates the party.
Is this?
What bridge is it? Is it the bridge that went over the worms?
Yeah.
Knew it. I failed my check, but I still knew it.
Oh boy.
Knew I shouldn't go against my instincts of looking for worms.
And as you recall, the other side of this bridge was the site of whatever ritual was undertaken to, well, first and foremost, create the first Bodak that you ever encountered. but also seems to be the vicinity of where the massive monolith was broken, and if you're piecing things together accurately, where the long deceased necromancer Caius
Yup.
was freed from his captivity.
Yep. I'm going to inform the dragon. I can't ever pronounce his name. Of all of this and of the history on Caius and all of that.
Okay.
Just so he knows what the fuck we're dealing with.
Okay.
Does he know who Caius is, beyond us telling him?
That's a good question. Not beyond what he's heard discussed among the party, no.
Okay.
But yeah, so as you continue on and look around, I know at least Maya is looking for worms, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so Maya takes a good look around. Anybody else looking?
I want to look for that one thing I saw in the vision before, 2 times in a row.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, so people who are looking for stuff, go ahead and make perception checks. Unfortunately, the two of you are without dark vision, so that's going to be a disadvantage.
No more torch.
Rip.
Am I gonna get another double ones?
I guess we'll see.
Not double ones!
Not even
Ha!
close.
Ha!
I want to tell Norganoth to look too.
Right.
Oh, the nat 20.
Okay. So to answer Maya's search, you do not see any little green worms crawling around this place. You don't see any zombies or bodaks or anything like that. To answer Trogdor, while you do see the same remnants of a large stone monolith, you don't see anything that overtly triggers that memory of the dreams that you've had, where you found yourself staring into the darkness and these pale, ghastly faces staring back at you.
We should cross the bridge.
Hey, it's your dragon.
He's my friend.
I'm just along for the ride.
Okay. So, are you crossing the bridge?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so the dragon continues on, carrying you over this bridge through the empty, desolate chamber where a lot of this series of events seems to have started in some capacity or another. You look down to one of the openings that kind of feeds down to the pit, and you can see still sitting there the now kind of moldering remains of a pair of shipping containers. The vessels that had brought the smuggled Thogonite from Togar's hometown and, well, presumably been the items over which his brother was murdered.
Is there any more Thalgen? Did we leave some Thalgenite in there, or did we take it all?
I mean, there may be a few bits and pieces if you'd like to find a way to climb down and sift through, but...
No.
Okay.
I just want to know in case I want to pull it up later.
Okay. Yeah, you continue on across to another familiar room. This one very small. You still see a few sets of dried out bones kind of scattered about. A couple more of them seemingly burned bodies. And a small blackened altar sitting in the middle of the chamber. Something that you notice doesn't seem to have been there before. There's a small arching doorway, not any larger than what you might find in a home or really any sort of interior. At this point, Norganoth kind of turns to all of you and says, I think you may have to dismount if I'm to continue with you.
I hop off.
I slide down.
I attempt to Fred Flintstone him. Just kind of, slide down the tail.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
try to make sure that he doesn't die doing mine.
Yeah, I'm dexterous enough.
Yeah, that's alright. Okay. So...
I mean, there is a chasm right over there, so...
Yeah. If you want, I can do an acrobatics.
That's alright. I mean, not that big a thing.
Okay.
Let's see. So... I think then what you see as the last of you kind of disembarks from Norganoth's back is you see his shape kind of begin to shrink down and condense. And as it's doing so, you kind of see for a moment a more familiar kind of profile as the wings begin to fold into his form, and for just a brief second there you see the wingless creature that Trogdor had summoned so many times. But then the shape keeps changing, and before too long, you find kind of standing before you a dragonborn, silver, and clad in familiar gear to what you see Trogdor wearing, apart from the obviously magical items.
He's even wearing the Zorn armor?
It's not as large and pronounced as Zorn armor, but it's very heavy.
You hear a ding in my pants.
So, kind of turning and looking at the party, goes, this way then?
Sure.
Move ahead towards the door.
Alright. Nods and just begins marching up the stairs, not really hesitating or waiting for anyone else to take the lead.
I want to walk with him.
Okay.
I'm gonna sneak behind him.
I want to pay attention to see if there's any traps or any clues I can find while going up there for what awaits us.
So, you all go through this doorway, which you find leads to a tightly spiraling staircase. And after climbing for what seems like ages, you must have climbed the equivalent of like a soaring castle turret by the time you reach an exit here. You find another arched doorway. No door hung in it, just kind of an opening that leads into a dark, damp, cellar-like structure. You can see kind of piled around, at least those of you, well, yeah, I think you could all probably make this out. You can see piled around all sorts of boxes and barrels, and a number of them kind of falling into rot and decay. A few puddles kind of collected here and there on the ground, and a steady drip audible through the entire area.
I forgot. Because I'm not used to my spells anymore, I'm gonna pass it off as I forgot, and I'm gonna cast the light on myself.
Okay. Yeah, so you do that. What are you casting it on specifically? Like just your armor?
Yeah, just touch my chest and cast it on me.
Okay, so Trogdor is now a bright, glowing beacon of light.
I'm staying outside that light.
Okay. So, looking around here, you can see, in addition to all that stuff that I mentioned before, you seem to have come out in kind of a single room that, best you can tell, leads out into a hallway beyond. That hallway kind of running sideways across the room that you're in. So, what's the plan?
Following Norgonoth's lead. He's obviously the older and wiser of the two.
Wiser for sure.
Oh.
Wait, is there more than one path? Did I miss something?
Yeah, so essentially, yeah, you would, so you're in this little room, kind of like a storage area of some sort, and there's another door across from where you're kind of emerging that seems to open up into a hallway, and that hallway runs essentially across it's basically left to right as you're kind of looking at it. So this is just one room off of a hallway.
Okay. Go through the rooms.
Okay. And I suppose it would probably be wise to get a marching order of sorts.
Uh-oh. Marching order. That's DM talk or roll initiative.
I'm in the middle.
I'm at the back with Lilith.
I'm near the front with Trogdor.
I would assume Lilith's walking outside the light from Trogdor as well.
Probably makes sense.
So I'm chilling with Lilith.
I like seeing things, so.
Okay. And then I suppose Norganoth is probably going to kind of stay side by side, or, you know, if Trogdor insists, take the lead. Yeah, so I think as he kind of presses his back to the wall and leans out and peering into the hallway, he's going to scope stuff out. And Trogdor, you hear in your head, there's a guard coming from the right. Strike on my signal.
Respond. Will do.
Okay.
And I'll just say, should I put out the light?
It may be wise.
Alright.
And everyone else just sees this kind of like silent exchange, maybe a bit of eye contact between the two. Before Norganoth says, "Now," in your head, Trogdor.
Can I, like, flash the light back on as I'm about to hit the thing?
You're gonna flashbang the guy?
As soon as I see the light go out, I'm running up to get with them.
Okay.
Or at least get into range.
Okay. But yeah, so you flash the light for a second as you, I assume, kind of come wheeling around the corner and just try to clobber the dude in the face.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make a couple attack rolls.
Oh, wow.
All right. So, yeah, you swing, and somehow this guy is still able to duck out of the way. On that first swing, I think you probably just miss as you're trying to take his head off with one strike, and there is this loud clang as you bash your mace into a metal bracketed wall sconce.
Oh boy.
And there's this loud reverberating echo just filling the hallway now.
Worse than that one ever.
Am I in range to be able to see and hit?
Yeah, so I think what happens is, like, as Trogdor comes around and hits, the guard has just passed into your field of vision.
Okay.
Like, you know, you can now see him through the open doorway. Trogdor wheels back around and tries to hit a second time. And let's see. Pull up a stat block real quick.
I don't even think I have anything to assist me.
Okay, so this one is just gonna hit. And yeah, so you, after gonging the sconce, you kind of regain your composure and slam your mace down on this guy. A kind of scraggly, old-looking individual, wearing a hood and kind of a partial mask over his face. But yeah, the rest of the party who has been kind of paying attention to this, you just hear this muffled, like. Okay, so then I think Togar wanted to do something. Yeah.
Did the guy go down or no?
No.
Never mind. you hear Trogdor hears clang, clang, clang as it gets caught in the sconce and bangs around.
Yeah, you know, it's the weirdest thing. Like, Trogdor came around and hit the one on the wall closest to you, And Togar like throws this dagger, and it just ting sticks in the one across the hallway.
Yep.
Do I know that there's someone there?
Well, you do know that people have done stuff, and I think that's a good time to roll some initiative.
I couldn't bonus action throw just a kunai at him, could I?
I'll allow it.
Okay. And is Trogdor still face up on him?
Yeah. Okay.
His arm blows off.
I throw this little chunk of sharpened metal at him and his entire arm falls off.
Yeah, Fallout, bloody mess.
Yes.
No, but he is, like, severely wounded. Go ahead and roll some initiative real quick, guys, just to see who's kind of able to get in here and do stuff.
Not me. Trogdor.
I don't know where my mini here is.
You're here.
There you go.
I found me.
Well, that's good.
Okay. Yeah, well, this guy rolled a nat 1, so we're not even going to bother putting him on the counter. So, Maya, you get to do stuff.
Where is he in relation to me?
Easily reachable. Probably,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like no more than 20, 25 feet away.
Yeah, I am just gonna go up to him and start punching him.
Okay.
So, yeah, punch, punch, punch.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, so poo, poo, poo.
She just fucking butterbeaned this guy. Just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and no doubt this cultist just like slumps down to the ground, unconscious. But let's see. Go ahead and make perception checks, everybody.
Ooh.
Unless you failed your IRL perception check, in which case don't.
Oh, damn!
Dang it, Bungo.
What?
You have the lowest perception of us all.
I'm
Actually,
sorry.
just to keep with the canon of it, what's Lilith?
Trogdor
Okay.
was inspired.
Yep. Yeah, I see it too.
All right. So it's not so much what you hear as, or what you see as what you hear. So kind of all around now, coming from both directions in this hallway, you can hear kind of hurried voices of, "What was that? Intruders!" And of course you hear metal blades like scraping as they're pulled from their sheaths and scabbards. And you hear off toward your left the familiar groaning of the undead worm-infested creatures.
Is there a door?
So you're looking out into this hallway, and there are many doors. You can go either left or right from this room that you first emerged from.
Is there a door to this room?
No. This is an open, arched doorway.
Oh. I will grab Trogdor and I'll say, Trogdor, grab him and get him inside this room quick. And I will, as soon as I say that, I'm going to take a good look at this guy and I'm going to reach out to myself essentially, and cast disguise self.
So you're gonna do what to yourself? Are you gonna touch yourself?
I am gonna touch myself because
Okay.
yeah, and I'm gonna make myself look exactly like the guy. Hopefully, I could be like you said. He was like older and kind of hunched looking.
Yeah, like old, pasty. You know, if you wanted to, you could probably pull the mask off and like get a good look at his face.
Yeah. I'm gonna attempt to mimic him as much as I can.
Okay.
So
They might not notice if he's too short.
yeah, just maybe make him a tiny bit shorter if I have to, but
Yeah.
but I am
really exaggerate that hunch. You know?
Yep. I'm also going to pull his mask off and put that in my pocket.
Okay.
Yeah, cool mask.
Yeah. So then, are you just gonna kind of?
Do I have to do a strength check or athletic check to pick this guy's body up and toss it?
I think Trogdor can move an unconscious old man.
Alright.
I think we can hand wave that one.
And I will step out into the hallway and just kind of stand there staring at the far wall sconce. So essentially with my back to the party.
Okay.
And I'm like, examining it and inspecting it so that if any guards come up, they see me like investigating it basically.
Okay. So yeah, after probably not more than another 10 seconds, one of the doors slightly down the hallway to the right kind of creaks open, and out runs looks to be another cultist. This one, a female, hood down, wearing a similar mask to the one that the previous one had worn. And as she stands there, dagger drawn, she kind of slows her approach upon seeing you there investigating the sconce.
I'll say, oh, put that thing away. This darn sconce fell, or at least the torch in it fell, and I accidentally ran into the other one, and couldn't see. It's dark down here. Sorry.
Inept cultist.
Basically.
Alright, go ahead and make a deception check with advantage.
Oh, thank God. Please be... Where'd deception go? Good. Well, it's not bad.
You're like trying to talk me into passing you on this.
Well, no, I'm saying like it's a straight 15, so it's not bad.
Okay. Alright, the other cultist kind of squints her eyes, looks at the sconce, and then back at you and kind of across toward the other one. Says, "Be more careful next time, old man." Turns around, kind of storms off. Maybe notably disappointed at not being able to murder anybody.
Yeah, that's fine. As she walks away, I start getting the shifty eyes. Anybody else coming to investigate?
Let's see. Yeah. So after another basically right as the door closes behind the one.
Yeah.
Another two come running around the corner. From the opposite ends, like that left end of the hallway where you can hear the undead.
Yeah, I'll turn towards them and say, "It's okay, it's okay. I ran into one of the sconces because the torch went out and I couldn't see. Everything's fine."
Okay, go ahead and make a deception check with advantage.
Please be good. Shit!
It's not in that one.
At least it's not that one.
Okay, so the two cultists kind of walk over and again, lean in, investigate the sconce, and let's see. Leave you in suspense for a minute.
That's fine.
What is it? Is it really fun?
Yep.
I noticed a giant dent in the sconce that I made.
And one says to the other, "Say, sister, don't you find it rather impressive that the old man can speak again?" And I think
Yo.
I think they're gonna attack.
Can I can't do a sneak attack on him, can I?
Well, I think this first attack probably happens as this is being said. So let's get this out of the way, and then we'll get to kind of a fresh initiative set up.
Okay. Please let me roll good.
Okay, so this one is going to attack.
Oh, good. I rolled good.
Alright, so I'm pretty sure a 27 hits.
Yeah, just barely.
Oh, that's terrible.
Okay, so you're gonna take 9 points of piercing damage.
Alright.
And let's see. That is going to come off of both your current and your max HP.
Now here's one question for you.
Yep.
Did they see through my disguise? Because my disguise would be significantly taller than I am.
I mean, not significantly enough. Like, they're not trying to stab you in the face. Like, with a
Okay.
dagger, you're probably going to go, something core level. So
then do they actually stab him in the face?
Yeah, I mean, is it? Because
are you asking to get stabbed in the face?
no, I'm more saying like, couldn't I have more of an opportunity to dodge out of the way if it's my face instead
Wasn't
of
it like a 27 or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty high.
All right, that's fine.
But anyway, that's going to come off both your current and your max HP.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll get around to other stuff in a minute.
Is the other one attacking me too?
I would say only the one got like a surprise round, so to speak, on you.
Okay, then can he dodge that one?
Sure.
Okay, so that was how much?
It was 9 points total.
So it'd be 5 or 4?
4.
4.
Okay. That's much better. I look much better.
Okay.
And before
Alright.
he's actually an assassinate rogue. Was you surprised it was auto crit?
Alright. Is anybody else doing stuff? I've only got 3 PCs on initiative right now.
Oh,
Am I
Obviously,
not on
gotta roll
initiative?
for low.
no, you're not.
What? Oh, there I am.
Oh, now you're not
There you are.
anymore. Anyway.
God damn it.
Oh, of course, Lilith has to tie me.
Okay.
Do we seriously have the same
see.
deck scores?
I guess.
Huh.
All right. So I would say, being in the situation, Togar probably is going to respond before Lilith does. So Togar, what are you doing?
He's right up on me then, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to, bonus action, Misty Step my ass back into the room with my friends.
Okay.
Like, into the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm just gonna say, bingo, and I'm gonna throw my, dagger at, the one who just, essentially just stabbed me.
Okay. Also worth noting,
Yes.
you take another 4 points of damage.
Right. Gotcha.
Come on.
I don't know. All I know is I Misty Step the fuck out of there. And then dagger.
Okay. And to answer that question, that extra damage is from the nasty bleeding wound that is now on Togar's frame here.
I'm also gonna drop the disguise self.
Okay. Yeah, so that 26 is definitely gonna hit.
All right. Being that I just Misty stepped away from him, am I technically? Does he know where I am?
No, especially if you ended up in the dark.
Cool. So can I get sneak attack then, or is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Does Norganoth get an initiative?
For simplicity's sake, given his form and stuff, I think we'll have him act with Trogdor.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah, so you throw a dagger and there's like, ah! And you can see the blade sink in pretty deep.
All right. And I'm going to kind of run over to Maya and say, "Ow, ow, ow! Does this look bad?" And show her my wound.
It looks bad.
Is it just bleeding profusely?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll just stand there and showing her that. That'll end my turn.
Okay. So that brings us to Lilith, who's gonna go bang bang with the Eldritch Blast again. Missing with the first one, but hitting with the second. Kind of blasting where the dagger had already like dug into the one cultist, and there's like a shriek of pain. All right. Trogdor, would you like to go first, or shall Norganoth do stuff?
Either's fine.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
Alright, is Togar within range of me?
Probably not like within touch, if that's what you're going for.
Oh.
Yeah, I ran over to Maya.
Okay. I'm gonna try and run up
Or
under
he
the
thought I
cultist.
was the most useful person, I'm not sure.
Well, because you've got medicine. You're good with bandages.
Oh, also, Togar, make a Constitution. Wait. Constitution save. Never mind.
I don't have healing spells.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep standing here bleeding out. I'm
Yep.
How
okay
far are
with it.
the cultists?
From you, probably about 10 feet at this point. Like, I'm picturing you and Norganoth still, like, pressed up against the wall in the interior of this room. And they're, like, you know, kind of opposite side of the hallway. So you'd basically just have to walk out the door, like, 5 feet, and you could swing on them.
Alright, I'm gonna do that. Attack whoever is closest to me.
Okay. Go for it.
I want to put Hunter's Mark on that whoever I'm jacking.
Okay, so we'll say it's the one that's already taken a few shots.
Alright. Oops.
Okay, so that's not gonna hit. There's a loud thud as you hit the wall behind him.
Boop.
That hits though.
Alright.
Yeah.
You get a D6.
Uh,
Nice. That Hunter Mark damage though.
And wait. Come on. I'll just do that one.
It's gonna pump some Divine Smite.
Okay. Yeah, and so with the little bit of extra added by that Divine Smite, the second hit that actually does make contact just like pulps this person. So yeah, there is like just this mauled kind of bloody mess of a torso where the trunk of this person was.
You just hear "Killing in the Name of" start playing on Trogdor's armor.
All right. So then Norganoth is going to come out swinging on the other one. First one hits.
Does he just like blast this guy against the wall?
No, I mean he's like wielding a weapon, like it's legit humanoid combat. Yeah, he's got a mace, not a magical mace, but a mace. And yeah, you hear this loud thump as the first hit lands, and then the sound of metal on stone as the second one seems to go a little wide.
Huh. You two are one and the same.
Alright, so then that's going to bring us to the remaining cultist here. Who... Free action is going to shout, "Intruders near storage!" And proceed to, I guess, attack Norganoth, because that's who he's squared up with. So yeah, he tries to like... Oh. Yeah, actually, what he's gonna do is...
Make poor life choices.
Yep, he's gonna fall on his own sword.
Totally.
That might be a good life choice for him, actually.
It would be the best life choice for him.
Alright, after shouting that, just looks at Trogdor and Norganoth and says, "You will not overcome us," before disappearing.
Motherfucker.
Maya.
So one's dead, and the other disappeared, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I am going to reach into my bag. I have some common clothes. I guess I probably have a scarf in there that's not my yellowhead scarf. So I'll take that and I will bind up Togar's bleeding.
Okay, make a medicine check.
Because I don't have healer supplies.
Oh.
And I rolled a 2. I
Yeah.
have herbalism kit and alchemist supplies.
Yeah, I mean, you get started, but you're not able to dress the wounds such that the bleeding really subsides in any significant way.
The big thing is she pulled out a vial of alcohol and sat down and was going to get something else. And in the time she did that, I uncorked the alcohol and drank it and popped it back, popped the cork back on and set it back down.
Alright.
Turn to Bungdo and Trogdor and ask if they want to use a healing spell, or should I give Togar a healing potion?
Bungo says he can heal.
Okay.
No, save it. I will not use the spell slot, and I'll just use Lay on Hands for 5 points.
What?
Okay.
Because she's a level 1 for that.
And to clarify, are you using 5, like, just you're gonna burn 5 HP of heals, or is there like a condition you think you might be suffering from that you wanna?
I can only do poison and disease,
Okay, yeah, it's not those.
so 5 healing points.
Okay. I guess then that'll tick back around to Togar, unless Bungdo wants to do something.
Oh, can I know if there's something special that's hurting Togar?
I mean,
I'm trying to find up his wound.
yeah, it just seems like the wound itself. It was made with a stabbing implement that is specially designed to basically cause maximum damage as it's, being driven in and then pulled out. It looks less like a normal stab wound and more like something was just like torn out of him.
Like it had a hook on the end.
Something like that. Okay, so then that's going to bring us back around to Togar,
Alright.
who off the bat is going to take another 2 points of damage.
Alright.
You can try retying it yourself.
This was the same time that cultist went invisible, right?
Like,
Same.
in terms of initiative, this is effectively your round after the cultist disappears.
Okay, I'm going to, even though I'm in pain, I'm going to take a dagger and throw it at the invisible area where he just was.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Disadvantage?
Yeah.
Alright. Hit the same
Ping!
sconce.
No, it's a different one. It's further
Oh.
down the hallway.
Oh. Alright. Can I bonus action try to tie this?
Well, before you do that, make a Constitution save.
Plus
Alright.
3.
Okay. Yeah, the bleeding seems to have subsided, and you are no longer suffering from the effects of that.
Alright. Does that from me tying it off, or is that something else?
It's just general Constitution, like, your blood is able to,
Coagulate.
yeah, clot enough to at least prevent further damage.
You don't die.
Yeah.
I
Alright.
feel like I helped, even if I didn't.
Okay.
As we hear more scraping of blades and hollering and footfalls from around the corners, I think that's where we'll pick it up next week.
Oh, boy.